that's a spectacular waterfall. Now this creek here is a tributary to that waterfall that I was just showing you. Just a few hundred feet over there. This birch bark is going to come in handy. Alright. You find crayfish in these little rivers like this just by turning the stones over. They get up underneath the stones. And when you find one, you just reach in there and grab it. Cross back over the river. Now places like these are hard to travel in because of the steep grades. Like look at this hillside right here. Yeah, it's just real steep and rocky. The same thing over there. And also, when traveling near streams like this, you have to be extremely careful, especially on rainy days like it is today, because they can flood almost without warning. And this little creek can turn into a raging river. You have to be extremely careful. So even just walking over this terrain with a backpack on, all these rocks and stuff you have to maneuver over. And steep inclines on one side. Yeah, it can get tough to travel in areas like this. But for the sake of hanging off a cliff like this, to see a waterfall like that, it sure makes all the effort of traveling into an area like this worth it. Wow. Even rainy days can be amazing up here in these mountains. Even when it's pouring, I don't mind being out in it. Yeah, look at that view. Nice little mountain meadow down here below me. Yeah, that's what's up. There's a variety of different ways I can set this one up, but this here, set up in a triangle like that, I can light an oil stove or an oil lamp and put it down inside there, and I can leave it all day and I don't have to worry about my fire getting away from me, and the wind won't blow it out. And when I get back to my camp, I always have a fire burning. Let's discuss pine resin mixtures for a moment. This here is just tempered pitch, just black pitch. It's just been boiled, and all the turpentine has been removed from it. It doesn't have any charcoal or anything like that in it. And I use this for making my tools. It has to be melted before you can use it. And this here is beeswax, pine pitch, and honey. And I use that to make gum out of. And you talk about some good chewing gum. I'm going to try that out. That's really good. Just beeswax, the clearest pine sap you can get, and honey. And for a material that's very much like concrete, you can take pine sap, ground bone dust or bone shavings. I get those from drilling holes in bones and stuff, and scraping them, and sand. And you just melt the pine sap. You mix the ingredients together, and when it cools off, it becomes extremely hard like concrete. And that material has a lot of good uses. I've even made sinkers for my fishing pole out of that stuff. And for a weatherproofing, for sealing up boats and buckets and stuff like that, you use pine sap, shredded rope bark or grass, and charcoal. And you grind the charcoal, and this should be as fine and fluffy as you can. You melt the pine sap and mix it up, and immediately stick it into whatever hole you want to seal up, and it makes a really, really good water seal. So those are a few of the basic traditional mixtures for pine sap for making sealants and chewing gum and tool making and other things. Don't be afraid to use vines as a snare wire. If you make the traps the way I do, you just lash it onto your pole with a nice half hitch, the way I showed you on the bamboo pole just a few seconds ago. See, when the rod releases, look, pulls right up and catches. Okay? Animal gets trapped right here. Nothing in the world wrong with that. And a vine has a stronger end grain, has a stronger pull strength than a rope of the same diameter. So this slender vine right here is stronger than a string of the same size. See? Animal sticks its neck right in there and pow, catches it just like that. Animal gets pulled tight up to the bottom of that piece of wood right there, and it can't go anywhere. So really, a vine is a perfect thing to use for this kind of a trap. So the next time you try making some stone knife blades or arrowheads or spearheads or whatever, try making a little hand holder like this, little thumb and fingers, and try pressing off some of the pieces of stone with a pry bar, and you'll see how well it performs. And what I really need to do is find a basswood tree where I can get thorns like this basswood thorn here. And you can see this one's much larger than my hand. It's going to make perfect hunting weapons for me. There, see, that's more like it. See, that makes an excellent stove. And in a place like this, where it's all swampy and everything's wet, it's good to not have to tromp around in the mud and chase wood. I'm Jack Survival. Thank you for watching.